Editing the pages in the PCOE portal is simple, and the training for it has been broken into two segments. This first segment deals with simply editing the text. The second segment, which builds on top of what you will learn here, covers adding images and linking to documents. Editing the text on a page, whether it be an introductory statement, the main content area with tabs, FAQs, or key links, is very simple and can be done just by directly visiting the page, putting it into edit mode, and making the edits. But first, to edit any page in the portal, you need to authenticate in. The easiest way to do that is to click the link at the bottom of the page called Web Administration. Once you have authenticated in, you now use the primary navigation to navigate to the page you wish to edit. I'm going to use the navigation to visit the Health and Welfare page, but will actually be editing a demonstration copy of that page. Once you're on the page you wish to edit, all you need to do is to go up to the top of the page and click on the sprocket wheel in the black bar. One of your options will be Edit Page. Simply select that option. After selecting the Edit Page option, the page loads with two significant changes. First, there's a yellow bar at the top of the page that explains that the page has been checked out to us and that no one else can edit it until we check it back in. So it's going to be important that we check this page back in when we're done with it, or no one will be able to see our edits. And also, no one else can edit the page while it remains checked out to us. The other change we see is that SharePoint has drawn fine grayed lines around each of the content areas on the page. These zones carry names. We can see that the image banner at the top of the page is in a zone called Banner. The frequently asked questions are in an FAQ zone. There are many named zones on the page and several that are reserved for future expansion. Let's start by just editing the text in the Overview Welcome statement area. All I need to do to alter this text is to place my cursor inside and click with the mouse. When I do that, the ribbon at the top of the page changes and gives me many of the controls we're familiar with from using Microsoft Word. All I need to do to change this text is to edit it as if it were a miniature Word document. I'll just make a couple of simple changes. I'll change Placer County Office of Education to PCOE. And I'll add a sentence at the end saying, "And she'll get back to you right away." A side note here, you can paste text into these areas from an email or a Word document. If you do, and the formatting doesn't look right, you can highlight the text that you just pasted onto the page, and then click on the Remove Formatting icon up in the ribbon, which will cause your newly pasted text to match the rest of the text in the site. The site is designed to manage the appearance of the text automatically, but sometimes you may have to remove formatting that was accidentally copied into the zone you're working on. With those changes made, all I need to do is to go up into the ribbon and click the Save icon, which will save my changes. Then I need to check in the page by clicking on the link provided in the yellow bar at the top of the page. When I check in the page, it's a good idea to leave some comments as to the changes that were made. The last step, in order for visitors to be able to see our new edits, is to click on the link that will publish the page. If there is a two-tier approval process in place, you may just check in the page and it may be up to someone else to publish it. The important point is that no visitors will be able to see these changes until the page is published. And now visitors to the site can see our changes. The next area of the page that I want to cover is the area that contains most of the page's content. In many cases, the content may be spread across 2 or 3 tabs in what is called a multi-tab web part. Although we can see that there are 3 tabs here, when we put the page into edit mode and scroll back down to that area, we can see that SharePoint has opened up all of the tabs and displayed them vertically so that they are as easy to edit as the overview statement that we just worked on. We just put our cursor into the body copy area and edit just like before. When the multi-tab area is displayed like this, it gives us the opportunity to point out that the first tab, named Information, is empty. It's important that this be left empty because it simply provides the title that goes into the title bar containing the group of tabs when the page is saved. You can edit the titles on the other tabs by selecting one and then selecting the option to edit the web part itself. I might point out here that you also have an option to delete this web part, which would delete this specific tab and its contents. Having indicated that we want to edit the web part, a dialog box will occur in the top right-hand corner of the browser, and the Appearance option in that dialog box will allow you to change the label that appears in the tab. When you click on Apply, you will be able to immediately see your changes in the label applied to the tab. If you ever need to add an additional tab to a pre-existing multi-tab web part, you simply click on the Add a Web Part link at the top of the zone, and then up in the ribbon, select a category of Media and Content, then Content Editor, and finally click the Add button over to the right. This will add an additional content area and tab to your multi-tab web part. Before you can use it, you need to move it to the bottom of the stack of the tabs it's grouped with. In Internet Explorer, you can simply select the web part and drag it down in the stack. In Chrome, you need to visit the Layout section of the web part settings to make sure that it has a zone index number greater than the number of the tab that you want to appear above it. I've already checked and verified that the zone index of the last tab is 5, so I'm going to put a 6 here in order to make sure that our new tab sits at the bottom of the stack, and when the page is saved, our new tab will be farthest to the right. Once you click OK or Apply, the web parts should shift into the order you desired. We're going to abandon any alterations that we just made to this page by going up to the ribbon, clicking on the Page tab, and under the Check-in option, we're going to select Discard Checkout. This will keep the version of the page that was in place before we checked it out and discard our changes. Now let's take a look at a few of the text areas on the page that are enhanced with some sophisticated text formatting. For instance, the FAQ area with its bold titles for questions and text answers that appear only when requested. Also notice that the Key Links area has icons indicating the link, as well as text descriptions. And then there's the special formatting for the announcements, with a bold title and a smaller date, and then tight body copy for the announcement itself. The special formatting for each of these areas is handled automatically by code in the background. All you need to do to edit these areas is to add or change the text, and then apply the appropriate style by selecting it from the ribbon. Let me show you how this works with the FAQ area. I'm going to add a question and an answer. First, I put the page into edit mode. With the page in edit mode, all of the questions and answers are fully displayed, making it easy to edit them. To add a new question, I simply type my question. Is testing required to apply for a position? Then I'm going to apply my answer. To get our question and answer to be formatted and operate the way the first two do, I need to apply some styles. With our new question highlighted, I just go up into the ribbon, click the down arrow in the Styles area, and then look for and select the style for FAQ questions. Mousing over this style shows us what it's going to look like, and clicking on it applies the style to the title. As you might have guessed, I now need to highlight the answer to our FAQ and apply the style called FAQ Answer. Now, when I save the page, check it in, and publish it, we can see our new frequently asked question formatted correctly and operating just like the ones above it. Now let's add an announcement. We'll put the page into edit mode, and now the announcements are listed vertically and are easily edited. I'm just going to place my cursor at the bottom and enter a title for the announcement. Then the date the announcement is being made, and the body copy for the announcement. I do want to point out here that these three components are required in order for an announcement to be formatted correctly. For instance, you cannot omit the date. With our new announcement in place, we just highlight each of the three sections to it, the title, the date, and the body copy, and apply the named styles for each one of those three sections. With the styles applied, we just save the page, check it in, and publish it. And now we can see that our new announcement has been formatted correctly and incorporated into the announcement's layout. Now let's add a key link. I'm going to add a link to Google as a recommended search engine. First, I put the page into edit mode. Then I go down into the key links area and put my cursor at the bottom, which is where I want to add this link. I'm just going to type in Google, which I'm going to make my link. Then I'm going to enter the description, the world's most popular search engine. Before I apply my styles to my link and description, I need to select the word Google and apply a hyperlink to it. I do that just like I would in Microsoft Word. I highlight the word Google, and then I go up into the ribbon, click on Insert, and select Link. And then, because Google is an outside location, I'm going to select From Address. Then I just type in the full URL for Google, starting with the HTTP. Then I'm going to give the link a description, which is required to ensure that our new link is ADA compliant. Then I'm also going to check the box causing the destination to open in a new browser tab. That's because it's an external location. That takes care of our link, but now we have to apply the formatting. I highlight the link and apply the style Links Title. Now I highlight the description and apply the style for Links Description. Now I just save the page, check it in, and publish it. And here we see our new hyperlink formatted correctly, including the little chain link icon to the left. Now let's edit the contacts area at the bottom of the page. As you can see, right now the contacts area is stylized with rounded rectangles surrounding each key contact. We can also see that the composition of each contact is the same. We have the person's name, followed by their title, followed by their phone number, followed by their email address. Like some of the other areas we have edited, applying styles here after we put the text in is going to be important. Let's put the page into edit mode and come back down to the contacts area. You can see now that the contacts are vertically stacked and are no longer surrounded by rounded rectangles. We can edit one of these contacts, for instance, modify its name or a title, just by placing our cursor into the text and making the change. If we're going to create a brand new one, we can copy and paste an existing contact to jumpstart the process. If we do that, it's important to grab the image as well as the text. It's important to understand that, like the formatting in the announcements area, in order for a key contact to represent itself correctly, it must contain all 5 elements: the picture, the name, the title, the phone number, and a link to the email address. The automatic formatting will not work correctly if you are missing one of these elements. If you are missing an email address or a phone number, simply use NA as a substitute to preserve the format. To edit one of the email addresses, you simply place your cursor inside the link, go up into the ribbon, click on Link, and make the appropriate change to the destination email address. When we're done, we can save the page, check it in, publish it, and then view our results. And that's all there is to editing the text on one of the pages in the portal. Remember, there is another segment that goes into advanced page editing. That segment covers changing images on the page and linking to documents.